Hey guys, it's Brian. Before you go ahead and do anything else, make sure you leave a like and subscribe and turn on those notifications if you want to see more content like this in the future. Anyways, on to the video. Hey guys, it's Brian. Welcome back to another Yugioh video. And so today we have a kind of special video. So I was playing on ranked on Dueling Book, and so well, on rated, and so I kind of ran into Antonio Papa, A.K.A. Nesh. So I was testing certain cards out because I wasn't really running Super Poly in my previous build, so I'm trying to go ahead and update my list to go ahead and make it more viable for any upcoming events. And so, oh, if anything, feel free to go ahead and check out Nesh's Discord, True Man's World. I'll go ahead and leave a link to it down in the description below. So let's go ahead and get right into the match. So I go first. And my opening hand isn't really the greatest, but this is going to be very interesting. So I'm trying to tech in maining Lancia now to go ahead and see if it's better, especially with Dragon Link and Dinos and Invoked Shaddoll being a thing. So as you can see, my hand isn't the greatest. I could have forced it making Dragoon, but I decided to go ahead and play a little too conservative in my opinion, and you'll see in a moment why. So my opening hand is Ecclesia, Squamata, Lancia, Foolish Burial, and Ash Blossom. And Nesh opened up Quick Launch, Chaos Space, Safer, Air Tactics, and another Safer. So I could have done the following. I could have either made Dragoon or Squamata. I'm sorry, not Squamata, or Winda. And so probably would have hurt him more than what I do here. So I go ahead and start out by going to Foolish Burial, going into Beast, and with Beast I draw into the Aerial. And so I go ahead and just normal summon the Ecclesia, where I could have summoned Squamata or Aerial to go ahead and just try to make the Winda or Dragoon. Search out Punishment, and I just decided to set Punishment and pass. So he starts off by activating Chaos Space. And I go ahead and just Lancia him right after this. Probably could have ashed the Chaos Space, but I felt that this was better because I could have just gone ahead and taken away the option to really take off. And even he says he was thinking about committing or not, or just playing a little more conservatively. So he summons a start early safer. I go ahead and immediately just go into the punishment, getting rid of it so he can't link it off. Probably should have waited for him to link off so I can just go ahead and ash the boot sec the striker for the boot sector. So here he goes into triple tactics after I go ahead and send Apcalone getting to Wendy. Takes a look at my hand, getting back the Ash, goes into quick draw, goes into Tracer. Now Tracer he goes into the Striker Dragon, which I could have avoided. Gets into boot sector. Activates the effect to bring back the Tracer. Use the effect of Tracer to go ahead and bring out the Recharger, and with Recharger on board, he's just going to go ahead and start synchroning off into the Chaos Ruler Mill 5 to go ahead and excavate to add one later Dark Monster. Add the Rocket Synchron. go to the apps router, go ahead and search another tracer. Use a striker to go ahead and get back the recharger. And with the recharger, he's going to go ahead and bring back the tracer. Attacks into the Ecclesia. Uses the Chaos Ruler to go ahead and attack to Hedgehog. I go ahead and go for Rush It All since I don't have any way of really going off because I'm under punishment lock. So I'm just trying to play defense at this point. Lanes into Quad Boral. Use Quad Boral's effect to go ahead and special summon those two back out. Synchros into Boral Savage and equips the Quad Boral. Pass turn. On to Invocation, which doesn't really help, so I'm forced to just set Aerial and set 2 pass. So he starts out by summoning the Rocket Synchron, and with Rocket Synchron on, he's going to try and target the Chaos Ruler to go ahead and be able to synchro into the hot red. So knowing this, I could have chained the Schism, but he's automatically going to negate it with Boral Savage, so I immediately just decided to go ahead and on summon, just go for Resh to go ahead and set Schemata, so if he tries to attack me, I go ahead and have a way of forcing negation, but looking back on it, I could have just activated Schism, force him to negate it, and that way if he tries to attack me, I can just go ahead and pop the hot red, but he did have Chaos Space and the Black Dragon to continue playing. So he uses Chaos Space to go ahead and pitch the Safer, get Levy. Uses Levy effect to go ahead and put my card back from hand to deck. Summons out the Black Dragon. And I just saw enough. And so heading into game 2, I draw into Droll, Alistair, Red Eyes, Deer Servant, and Schism, which is not bad. And my opponent Nash here has Ash Blossom, Dragon Ravine, Absa Router, Red Reboot, and Chaos Space. So I go ahead and start off with the Alistair. He ashes it right away. I just link it off into the Amirage. Go into Nadir. Go into Ecclesia. And after that, I go ahead and use Affluence to go ahead and get Beast and discard it right away. And I get Punishment. Go into Fleur-de-Lis. I'm sorry, go into Ecclesia to get to Fleur-de-Lis. And set 2 pass. So he goes into Chaos Space. Gets White Dragon. I go ahead and immediately draw him. So that way he can't really add anything else. So he decides to pass a turn, and I draw into Call by the Grave. So here I just go into the Alistair link, use the Schism to go ahead and make Construct. He could have Red Reboot, but he decided to hold off because I was going to have access to it next turn anyway. So he's probably just thinking about holding it on for the punishment. So I go ahead and use Alistair Link to go ahead and get the Invocation to hand. Use Aerial to banish his graveyard so he doesn't get the Chaos Space or anything to go ahead and apply any of his Chaos cards like White Dragon, Black Dragon, and Levianeer. Use the Invocation to go ahead and go into Mechaba. Get the Alistair back to hand. Go for the Fleur-de-Lis to go ahead and try and push for game. And so heading into game 3, I wasn't feeling too confident, but I was able to have some faith in my opening hand. So I have Lancia, Beast, Alistair, Ecclesia, and Super Poly, which is a great going first hand, but not too bad of a going second hand. And he has Absolrouter, Recharger, his Lancia of his own, Chamber Dragon Maid, and also Dragon Maid Tiding, which is pretty good. So he starts off by going to Chamber, gets a second Tiding, goes into Striker, getting the Boot Sector launch, and using the Boot Sector launch, he goes ahead and summons out the Recharger, goes for Absolrouter as well. Here he goes for the Romulus, and with Absolrouter he goes ahead and gets Tracer, and with Romulus he gets the Dragon's Ravine. So after he activates Dragon Ravine, he pitches the Tiding for cost. I decided to chain Lancia so that way he's forced to go ahead and use a Tiding and can't use anything else. And he can't really use his Chaos cards at this point. Probably should wait for him to commit. Here he goes into LP and then to Striker. Goes into Safer. Link those off into the Heriac Seal. Searches out for White Dragon. Goes into Pissy now. Pissy effect, bring back Tracer. Goes into Rocket Synchron. Uses the effect of Striker to get back the Recharger. Uses the Recharger effect to bring back out the Dragon Maid. Goes into Chaos Ruler. And here he makes Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. So I unfortunately draw a draw afterwards. Go for Alistair, use the effect. So he lets it go through and I immediately just chain the Super Poly so he can't bounce back anything. And that way it prevents him from getting another card out of his deck. So I go for Mechaba. Go for Invocation here. Goes for Tiding. Fortunately, don't have the out for it. So I try to go ahead and go for Invocation, and here, hoping that he would negate for the Hot Red. And I just decided to scoop it up because I was not coming back from that. anyways, do want to thank you guys for checking the video out. Make sure you go ahead and check out the Discord in the description for Nesh and support him there as well. So, if anything, hope that you guys enjoyed the video and hope to see you guys again next time. See ya!